Hi everybody, it's Wednesday the 2nd of September 2009 and I just wanted to deal with a couple of things if I could just very quickly. I didn't believe that I was a conspiracy theorist until I started reading a couple of articles during the week, and anyway, I'll tell you what happened. I read this article and I didn't really know what to make of it, and the article is in the Irish Independent on Saturday the 29th, so it's a few days old. And what it tells you in the article, it's a half-page article, and it tells you that the Rothschild Bank, investment bank, is now advising our government, the Irish government, over the NAMA project. Now, I don't know if you know who the Rothschilds are, but this is one of the oldest banks in Europe. It probably is the oldest bank in Europe. It goes back to the latter part of the 17th, early part of the 18th century. And it has been involved, either directly or indirectly, in probably every political conspiracy that's gone on in Europe from the time of its inception. And I just find it truly extraordinary that at a time when we are in deep, deep doo-doo, and we owe all this huge indebtedness to rich American and rich European banks, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, one of their major muscles arrives on the scene. It would be like a pop star with having a 6'6" gorilla looking after their interests. Well, that's what these people are like. These people are wolves in sheep's clothing. This Rothschild bank, and all of a sudden, our government has appointed them, and I don't think that's by accident. The reason I don't think that's by accident is because a lot of the money we are going to use in the NAMA project is coming from the ECB, the European Central Bank, and it will come with all sorts of orders and attachments with it alongside it, and this is one of them. So what we have is NAMA. We have its American interest being served by Dr. Alan Ahern for 7 years, sat on the inner sanctum of the Federal Reserve in Washington and prepared notes for the board, the Federal Reserve Board, and for Dr. Alan Greenspan, or Professor Alan Greenspan. We all know about him and the role that he played in the debacle. Well, he is the major economic architect for this world debacle that we find ourselves in. So his minion, Dr. Alan Ahern, is now in Ireland and is now the appointee of Brian Lenihan, and he is joined at the hip to Brian Lenihan on the NAMA project. Now we have the major bank, the European Bank, which is a Bilderberger bank, comes out of the Bilderberger group, the secret group which aspires to world dominance and world domination. And it has this bank as its main muscle in Europe, and all of a sudden it's now working alongside our government. So at least we should know these things, and thankfully this has appeared in the public domain. Not another word of it anywhere else, by the way, after that. Just this article. But I don't know who Joe Brennan is, but we have to thank him for that. And then the final thing, which I was stunned when I read it, but it really doesn't surprise me, and that is this man here. I'll put his photograph up and you can see it. This man's name is Peter Sutherland. You can see him there. About 63. He looks like he's carrying a mobile heart attack around with him. He's grossly overweight. But he was, for a period of about 4 years, from 1989 to 1993, he was the chairman of Allied Irish Banks. He was Attorney General. He's a Fine Gael, Attorney General. But the two positions that he holds down now, he holds down lots of positions, but the two senior economic positions that he holds down now are that he is a chairman of the 5th largest company in the world, which is British Petroleum. And he also is the chairman of Goldman Sachs International. This is an Irishman. Okay. But the key political position that he has is two of them as well. And he sits on the chair of the Trilateral Commission. He is the chairman of the Trilateral Commission. And he's also on the steering committee of the Bilderberg Group. Now there are 8 of them, from what I can understand. Sometimes it varies between 5 and 8. And these are the key and most powerful men in the world. These men make decisions every year. He's on the steering committee. He does it on an ongoing basis. He just doesn't appear for a weekend somewhere like Hillary Clinton and these other muppets that they invite. No. He is in the inner sanctum, this man, Peter Sullivan. And his acolyte, who was his boss, Dr. Gareth Fitzgerald, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, pops up over the weekend and tells us the dire consequences if we face down Nama. And we don't brown-nose these Nama people and give our country over to this. What's going to happen? Now, as I say, I'm not really a conspiracy theorist, but I'm also not a fool. And there are big, powerful political muscles getting involved in this whole Nama project, because there's not 90 billion euros at risk here, which is the ECB money that we're going to get loaned to fund this Nama. We're talking about 1.3 trillion of American and European money that our banks got and loaned to everybody and anybody for property speculating, for gambling. That is what's at the core of this. So I just think we live in interesting times. As I say, I don't want to go on about it, but I am absolutely stunned at what is going on here. Absolutely stunned. That an Irishman who, by the way, has an honorary knighthood, so maybe we should call him Sir Peter Sutherland, and he got the honorary knighthood for services to the British Empire. The James Bond knighthood. It's called an honorary knight commander of the Order of St. Michael and George. What Jimmy Bond got. Anyway, we'll talk more